me.
Save back to school lunches.
What the?
With up to 30% off Lunchbox Essentials.
Our brand wellness didn't start with a trend. It started with a crash.
So I started Sage because a car accident led to some soft tissue damage that well-meaning doctors just tried to treat in the conventional ways, and I was not only still hurting, but I had all these side effects, and I thought there's got to be a better way.
We're nature's original pharmacy, and we've been rooted in plant-powered remedies.
In a small Kentucky town, a young boy vanished without a trace. No one knew how it could have happened. But within hours, the boy's entire family was frantically searching for him. A few leads in the case quickly turned cold, and the FBI was called in to expose the kidnapper and find the missing child. But within hours, the boy's entire family was frantically searching for him. A few leads in the case quickly turned cold, and the FBI was called in to expose the kidnapper and find the missing child.
On the day before Thanksgiving, a mother discovered her 10-year-old son was missing from his
I
school.
don't know what to do, and my
When a child
sissy
with
does
separated
not
parents disappears,
like loud
investigators
background
first look at
noises,
family,
so I
and
don't know
divorced
how
parents
this is
often
gonna
suspect
work.
each other. I'm Jim Kallstrom, former head of the FBI's New York office. Research by the FBI
I
and
then
local
got
authorities
minutes today,
covering 1,000
everybody,
miles.
from my
They were
phone.
determined to find the boy and his abductor.
And I got minutes. I had a coffee,
London, Kentucky is a quiet, rural town
a
surrounded
large
by rolling
coffee,
hills
2
in the heart
cream.
of Kentucky's tobacco country.
That's what I got today from
It is a traditional
McDonald's.
town where many
Luke,
farming families have lived for
Rosalind,
generations, and
Rosalind,
most of the people know and trust each other.
anybody else?
At 11 a.m. the day
Keith,
before Thanksgiving,
somebody.
November 25th, 1992, the children of Paces Creek Elementary School were looking forward to a special holiday luncheon before they left for the long weekend.
Keep up the good work. What are we doing over here? Oh, we got food going. We just gotta... Oh, we're doing a turkey in the hand.
10-year-old Scotty Baker was especially excited. After school, he was to stay at his grandmother's house until his father picked him up on Thanksgiving morning. Scotty planned to spend the entire weekend traveling alone with his father on a long-haul trucking run. Since his parents were divorced, Scotty relished the time he spent with his father and loved to ride in the trucks his dad drove for a living. Following an afternoon tutoring session, Scotty was scheduled to go home on the bus at 3 p.m. to his grandmother's house. For Scotty's mother, Ruth, it would be the first Thanksgiving her youngest child was away from her. She and her daughter decided to surprise Scotty and pick him up before he got on the bus. The single mother only had what remained of the day to see her son before he left on the trip with his father the next morning. Ruth waited in the car while her daughter went in to fetch Scotty.
I picked Scotty up at school that day instead of having him ride the bus to his grandmother's house because he was going to be gone with his father the full Thanksgiving weekend. And I just wanted to see him before he left.
Scotty's sister asked some of his classmates if they'd seen him, but they hadn't. His His teacher said that he had not shown up for his scheduled after-school tutoring, but figured he had skipped it to start his long weekend.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
Where's Scotty? I don't know. I looked outside for him and no one's seen him. I asked the teacher.
Ruth hadn't called ahead, so she thought Scotty had probably taken the bus as previously planned.
I just thought there was some sort of a misunderstanding as to, whether he was supposed to say that day. I thought he just rode the bus back to his grandmother's house, and somewhere we had
My
just
birthday at the
missed
Cannabis
him.
Center now.
Scotty's grandmother lived close by, so the boy
It's
would
2
certainly
months
be there
over
by
there,
now.
and I was going to,
Dorothy.
But Scotty's grandmother had not seen him get off the bus that day. Ruth called his friend's parents in the neighborhood,
This is Scotty's mom.
but none of their children had seen Scotty either.
When we searched the neighborhood and realized that he didn't go home with any of the kids, we went back to school to try to find out if maybe he'd stayed there for some reason, missed the bus, or at that point we didn't know what to think. Scotty had never got on the bus and went home with another child or went anywhere without telling either myself or his grandmother.
Ruth found the principal in the main office and asked for his help to locate her son. By this time, the teachers had all gone home for the holiday weekend. The principal told her he would try to contact Scotty's teachers at
hi,
home.
have you dropped off the letters yet?
Then Ruth made an alarming discovery. She saw that Scotty had been signed out at 11:20 that day.
The sign-out book was just laying there on the desk, and I just happened to look down and see his name on it. And it said Scotty Baker had been signed out by Patricia Smith.
Ruth recognized the name. Scotty's father had a cousin named Patricia Smith that Ruth had met once years before.
Do you know that
It was strange
Sandra
that the
is
cousin would
getting
have picked up
married?
Scotty without telling anyone in the immediate family since she wasn't authorized. The principal called the school secretary to find out more. He reached her at a hospital where she was visiting a sick relative. The principal asked if she had released Scotty to a woman named Patricia Smith 6 hours earlier. She confirmed that she had. The secretary recalled that Patricia Smith, a dark-haired woman with glasses,
Jesus
walked into the
Christ.
office at about 11:15 a.m. The young woman said she was Scotty's
Sandra
cousin and was picking him
Mercury.
up to take him to his father. When Scotty's 5th grade class passed by the front office on the way to the Thanksgiving luncheon, the secretary summoned Scotty with exciting news.
I think it's spelled like that.
His
but it
cousin
could
had
be
come to
wrong.
take him early from school. The secretary knew most of the children's parents and relatives, but she had never met Patricia Smith before. She added that Scotty didn't seem afraid of the woman and he left willingly.
Good for you, cousin.
The principal conveyed the news to Ruth. She was upset to learn that Scotty had been released to another person without her permission.
She was taking him to see his father.
I am doing pretty
So that
good.
kind of made sense to me. Because if Donnie was out on the road and he was just going to swing in, he might have had somebody pick him up. But it was strange to me why it would be somebody that Scotty didn't know.
Ruth didn't know Patricia Smith either, nor did she know her number. She demanded that the principal call the authorities. Kentucky State Police sent 2 troopers to the school to help track down the missing juvenile. The principal handed officers a school photograph of Scotty Baker and provided them with the names and addresses of his 5th grade classmates. Ruth told officers that her son was last seen 6 hours earlier, leaving school with a woman named Patricia Smith. ex-husband, Donnie, had a relative by that name. Ruth could not provide them with her address or phone number.
Download Life 360. It's a location services app that has saved our family. You can see the places your kids are going. You can see how fast your husband's driving. And in case there's an emergency, there's crash detection. It's a total game changer.
Get your choice of juicy grass-fed beef or chicken with a $6 Buddy Bundle at A&W.
When this terrible scourge falls upon us, will humanity fall?
I can grant you power enough to escape this place.
I will stop Paramount.
You ready?
The future of Downton is now in Mary's hands.
How exciting!
Now the moment's come.
You can't bear to relinquish the crown. Families like ours must keep moving to survive. It will be a sensation.
I like the sound of that.
Are you coming or what?
Investigators' first task was to locate the cousin. Former Kentucky State Police Detective Larry Lewis discovered that Donnie Baker's cousin, Patty Smith, lived very close to the school, as Ruth had remembered.
We went to Patty Smith, that was related to Donnie, a cousin, and talked to her, and she didn't fit the description whatsoever. And her alibi checked out where she was at.
Into the evening, police pursued all the women named Patricia Smith within a 100-mile radius of Scotty's school. They found several. All were home, since the next day was Thanksgiving. But none looked like the woman described by the school secretary, and all had solid alibis.
People vouch for this. There was about 3 or 4 other Patricia Smiths that we checked out, and none of them panned out. So we eventually found out that it wasn't a Patricia Smith, that somebody had used that for an alias.
At Scotty's grandmother's house, Ruth and her 2 daughters braced themselves for the worst. Almost 8 hours after Scotty was taken from school by an unidentified woman, there was still no word. Ruth tried to reach her ex-husband, Donnie, to see if he might know something. She left a message with his manager at the trucking company, who told her that Donnie was somewhere on the highway delivering a load of freight to Ottawa, Illinois.
It wasn't important. We waited for him to call because for some reason I thought he'd know where he was when he got there. That was the only hope that we had at that point, that somehow Donnie would know who had him when he found out that he was gone.
Kentucky State Police continued to search for answers locally. They traveled to the homes of the children that had attended school with the missing boy that day.
Not the last time.
One of Scotty's friends had spent most of that day with him. He recalled seeing Scotty leave with the young woman.
Did Scotty seem afraid of her?
The 10-year-old also saw the car they got into. He knew it had 4 doors, but he was unsure of the model. The boy remembered clearly that Scotty was happy about leaving and showed no fear of her. He said that all Scotty had talked about that day was traveling on the road alone with his father. The 5th grader had little else to add.
Think of anything else, let her know.
By 10 p.m., more than 10 hours after Scotty was last seen, investigators still had no solid leads to his whereabouts. Since they'd received no ransom calls, police now turned their attention to Scotty's family and friends.
Hello?
Scotty's stepmother, Stephanie Baker, stayed by the phone. Perhaps someone who was close to the boy knew more than they were telling. In child abduction cases, it is usually one of the parents who is responsible since they have greatest access to the child. Scotty's mother, Ruth, understood this and was willing to provide investigators with whatever they needed to find her son.
Of course, any law enforcement official, I think that's their first thought, that the mother and father have something to do with it when a child disappears. I think that's the first people they investigate. And in this case, they immediately thought Donnie or I had something to do with it simply because we were divorced.
Detectives asked about her relationship with her ex-husband, Donnie. She said that she and Donnie were distant, but for Scotty's sake, they remained generally respectful of each other. The couple had divorced 5 years prior. According to Ruth, the divorce was acrimonious, with custody of their son acting as the main point of contention. After some wrangling, Ruth and Donnie agreed to joint custody. To her knowledge, when her ex-husband and Scotty on the weekends, he always treated their son well. In fact, Ruth believed if there was anyone who might harm her boy, it was Stephanie, her ex-husband's new wife of 9 months. Ruth claimed that Stephanie was jealous of Scotty's closeness with his father.
I didn't know Stephanie very well. What I knew about her really was from Scotty, and at this point Scotty wasn't telling me a whole lot about her. I knew that he didn't want to go to their house anymore, and I knew that he didn't want to be around Stephanie much, but I thought it was just the feelings that he was picking up, the feelings of jealousy that he was picking up from her.
Investigators thought that Ruth might also be jealous of Donnie's new wife as well, for the time that Stephanie and Scotty's father had been spending with the 10-year-old. With mixed motives and emotions, Detective Lewis believed at least one of Scotty's guardians was likely responsible for the boy's disappearance.
There were several suspects from the beginning. Stephanie Baker, because she was the stepmother, Donnie Baker, because he was the father, and Ruth Baker, because she was the mother. There was a conflict between Ruth and Stephanie, so those three were the main suspects.
By midnight, November 26th, Scotty had been missing for over 12 hours. Scotty's father, Donnie Baker, was returning from Illinois, where he had learned of his son's disappearance. He had dropped off his rig and hitched a ride back to London, Kentucky with a friend. Donnie's wife, Stephanie, and her father were waiting at a truck stop to pick him up.
Hey, Bill.
They didn't have the good
I
news
wanted to
Donnie
know
hoped
if
for.
I could have my birthday party at the club. My birthday is
Everyone was
September
tired, but
20th.
Donnie insisted on heading out to search for Scotty. He and Stephanie drove to some nearby woods where Donnie and Scotty had often hunted and shot at targets together. But they found no sign of his missing son.
I'm just watching TV right
With
now.
dawn approaching, Stephanie pleaded with Donnie to give up for the night and head home. He finally relented. Early on Thanksgiving morning, Donnie and his ex-wife Ruth set out to distribute flyers with Scotty's photo. With their 10-year-old son now missing for almost 24 hours, tension got the better of them. They accused each other of taking Scotty and hiding him. Despite their mutual suspicions, Donnie and Ruth continued canvassing the area. They posted flyers in every business that was open on Thanksgiving. On a day meant for family, they received no reports of sightings of their missing son. They could only hope that Scotty was still alive. On Thanksgiving Day, 1992, Kentucky State Police still had no leads to the whereabouts of 10-year-old Scotty Baker. boy had been taken from school the day before by a young woman who claimed to be his father's cousin. Scotty's father, Donnie, a truck driver who had recently remarried, was on the road when his son disappeared. Police arrived at his home to interview him and his new wife of 9 months, Stephanie Baker. Investigators suspected that perhaps someone close to the missing boy knew more than they were saying. The officer told the couple that he needed to interview them separately. He didn't want either of them to influence the other's responses. Donnie Baker appeared anxious, but assured the officer he'd cooperate in any way that he could. He confirmed that he planned to pick up Scotty on Thanksgiving morning after delivering a truckload of cargo to Illinois the previous evening. He and his son were going to be traveling alone to Tennessee and back. Donnie added that he didn't ask his cousin Patricia Smith or anyone else to pick up Scotty from school the day before.